The awakening of the signal. From the beginning, humanity believed it understood the universe. We mapped the stars, named constellations, measured distances impossible to imagine. But while we looked outward with curiosity, something ancient looked back with purpose. For centuries, civilizations across the world documented the same phenomenon. The recurring sign in the sky, the triad of lights, the three eyes, an omen that appeared before historical turning points, collapses, or sudden leaps in human evolution. Most dismissed it as myth, a symbol, a coincidence, but they were wrong. Tonight, for the first time in recorded history, the sign has returned, not as a legend, not as a story whispered by ancestors, but as a measurable, undeniable physical event. Astronomers in Chile, Japan, and the United States detected it simultaneously. Three pulsating spheres of violet-blue energy arranged in a perfect triangular formation, moving with intelligence, coordination, and deliberate control. At first, the scientific community attempted to explain it. A rare cosmic alignment, a magnetic anomaly, a new type of atmospheric phenomenon. But the data didn't fit. The objects changed velocity with impossible precision, accelerating, stopping, and pivoting at angles that no known craft, no known physics, could replicate. Within minutes, space agencies went silent. Government channels locked behind encrypted firewalls. Emergency protocols activated worldwide. And then, the signal. A deep, resonant frequency, felt more in the bones than in the ears. A vibration that cut through technology, atmosphere, and even human consciousness. It was not random. It was structured, it was intentional. And hidden within that vibration was the unmistakable message. We are the Three-Eye Atlas. We have returned for the first sign. For decades, classified documents spoke about them only in fragments. The Inter-Intelligence Imperial Atlas, a reptilian civilization older than Earth's oceans, a race whose ships were once mistaken for gods descending from the heavens. A species that observed humanity with a mixture of curiosity and calculation. The old reports claimed they never left, only retreated, only waited. Waited for humanity to reach a critical point, a moment when the world teetered between progress and collapse, awakening and destruction. And now, that moment has arrived. Across the globe, people look to the sky, some in fear, some in fascination, all sensing the same truth. This is not a warning. This is not an attack. This is the announcement of a new era. The first sign is the opening, the threshold, the signal that the mega event has begun. But what is the mega event? A revelation? A takeover? A transition? A correction? Everything points to a single disturbing possibility. The Three-Eye Atlas are not coming to negotiate. They are not coming to observe. They are coming to intervene. Humanity stands at the edge of the unknown, facing a power that sees our world not as a home, but as a system to be recalibrated. This is the beginning, the return, the awakening. The first sign has been delivered. The mega event has started. The cosmic intervention begins. The first sign was only the opening act, because after the signal pulsed across the atmosphere, something even more extraordinary began to unfold. A massive distortion and electromagnetic ripple moved across the ionosphere like a silent tidal wave. Satellites flickered. Communication networks dropped for seconds at a time. Animals across multiple continents reacted simultaneously, as if sensing an invisible shift. Then came the second phenomenon, a luminous breach in the upper atmosphere. Not an explosion, not a meteor, but a controlled entry, marked by three spiraling beams of violet and deep blue light, rotating around a central axis like the iris of a colossal eye. The world froze. Cameras aimed at the sky captured what scientists later called structured descent formations, but what the public instantly recognized as crafts unlike any known technology on Earth. Smooth, organic surfaces that shifted like living metal. a glowing core that expanded and contracted like breath, edges that dissolved into thin mist, bending the light around them. These were not machines. They were manifestations of an intelligence far beyond human comprehension. Moments later, the craft stabilized in perfect triangular alignment, hovering silently above the clouds, motionless, effortless, defying gravity as if it were optional. But it was what happened next that shattered all doubt. A holographic projection emerged from the lead craft. A towering form reptilian in nature, regal in posture, materialized above the planet, visible across the sky in multiple regions simultaneously. The being's presence was overwhelming. Scaled skin reflecting cosmic light, eyes glowing with the same triad blue signature seen in the initial formation, and a crest of bioluminescent patterns that shifted with mathematical precision. And then it spoke. Not in sound, not in language, but through direct neural resonance felt inside the mind rather than heard through the ears. Its message was broadcast simultaneously into millions of people. Humanity has entered the threshold. The cycle is open. The mega event proceeds. People fell to their knees. Others stared in silence, unable to comprehend the magnitude of the moment. Every individual felt the message differently. Some perceived words, others visuals, others emotions, but all understood the same thing. This was not the beginning of contact. This was the beginning of correction. Behind the projection, the three crafts intensified their glow, revealing fractal patterns that extended like digital mandalas, reshaping the electromagnetic field around Earth. Sensors across the globe registered the same impossible data. The Earth's magnetic field was shifting. The poles displayed erratic micro-movements. The Schumann resonance surged to unprecedented levels. Radio waves bent in unnatural curvature. Atmospheric ions became hypercharged. Scientists attempted to issue statements, but none could hide the truth. The planet was being recalibrated. Not harmed, not attacked, adjusted. And every reading pointed to a single source, the energy radiating from the 3I Atlas crafts. As the world tried to process the impossible, the reptilian projection delivered a second transmission, this time clearer, sharper, unmistakably authoritative. We intervene for alignment. Humanity stands at the pivot of divergence. Stability or collapse. Your world has chosen neither. Therefore, we proceed. The mega event was not a prophecy. It was not a punishment. It was not a sign of destruction. It was an intervention, triggered by the arrival of the 3I Atlas. A cosmic reset, a forced recalibration of a civilization that had veered off its evolutionary trajectory. The projection dissolved into particles of blue light. The crafts rotated in synchronized formation. And then, everything stopped. Absolute silence. Absolute stillness. The calm before the next phase. Humanity sensed it instinctively. The first sign had passed. The descent phase had begun. And the mega event was now fully in motion. The great realignment. The descent phase marked the beginning of direct interaction. But Block 2 was only preparation. The real transformation began when the great realignment started. It began subtly, almost gently. A faint hum emerged across multiple regions of the planet, a vibration detectable not by ears, but by instruments, animals, and the human nervous system. People described it as a pressure, a weight on the air, a sense that the atmosphere itself had thickened. Then, the world's magnetic field began shifting in measurable waves. For the first time in modern history, compasses drifted by several degrees in real time. Airline pilots reported navigation anomalies. Migratory birds changed direction mid-flight. Whales in deep oceans altered their sonar patterns, as if trying to resonate with something beyond the planet. The source was unmistakable, the triad formation of the 3I Atlas crafts, still stationed at high altitude, emitting coordinated pulses, each pulse synchronized with the Earth's magnetosphere. These were not random signals. They were calculations, Adjustments, corrections. As the pulses intensified, clouds began forming geometric shapes, circles within circles, spirals and triangular vortices, as if the atmosphere were responding intelligently to the incoming frequency. Meteorologists were speechless. They could not explain the sudden symmetry. Weather patterns began behaving like fluid sculptures, bending into perfect fractal formations. And then came the second wave. An immense circular shock, invisible to the naked eye, but captured by satellites, expanded outward from the triad formation, rippling across the atmosphere, then the oceans, then through the crust of the Earth itself. For several seconds, sensors worldwide detected a unified tremor, not violent, but steady, like a tuning fork placed against the planet's core. Immediately after, something extraordinary happened. Earth's vibrational baseline increased. The Schumann resonance, Earth's natural electromagnetic heartbeat, jumped to levels never before recorded in scientific history. Not for minutes, but for hours. Humans felt it differently depending on their sensitivity. Some experienced sudden clarity. Others felt intense emotional release. Many reported vivid dreams. Some felt overwhelmed or fatigued. A few collapsed briefly, unable to withstand the surge. Hospitals across the world described an increase in cases of vertigo, sudden anxiety, heightened perception, and sensory overload. Scientists tried to deny it at first, but after reviewing the data, they had no choice but to face reality. Human consciousness was being affected. The 3I Atlas crafts were rewriting energetic structures, not only geological and magnetic, but neurological. It was the first stage of planetary recalibration. During this period, the holographic projection returned, this time smaller, more focused, appearing only in key regions across the planet. The reptilian figure spoke directly into the collective mind with a clarity that left no room for interpretation. Human potential is misaligned. Pathways diverge from the intended arc. The cycle requires correction. You will adapt. As the message spread, power grids flickered but did not collapse. Electronics behaved strangely, but eventually stabilized. It was as if the world's technology had to negotiate with the new electromagnetic environment. Then the sky darkened. Clouds formed a gigantic circular aperture, rotating slowly like a celestial mechanism unlocking a new stage of reality. A column of blue-violet energy descended from the center of the triad formation, reaching down toward Earth like a cosmic spindle threading into the planet's energetic grid. This was the moment humanity understood. The 3I Atlas were not here to conquer us. They were not here to communicate. They were not here to observe. They were here to intervene in the evolutionary trajectory of the planet. Earth was being realigned physically, magnetically, mentally, spiritually. A reboot. A forced synchronization with an ancient galactic cycle that humanity had long forgotten. All around the world, the same feeling echoed across millions of people. The sense that the veil between the physical and the unknown had thinned. The great realignment was underway, and the final phase was approaching. The mega event, the final threshold. The great realignment had reshaped everything. The skies, the magnetic field, the flow of consciousness itself. But while humanity struggled to understand what was happening, the 3I Atlas had already moved into the final stage of their operation. The culmination phase. It began with silence. A silence so absolute that even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Birds stopped mid-flight, hovering in confusion. Animals paused, sensing an invisible shift. Humans across the world experienced the same sudden stillness, as if reality itself had paused between one heartbeat and the next. Then, without warning, the triad formation expanded. The 3 colossal crafts rose higher into the atmosphere, aligning themselves into a perfect equilateral triangle, spanning hundreds of kilometers across. Within this formation, the sky darkened into a deep indigo, pierced only by swirling fractal currents of violet and blue. At the center of the triangle, space itself seemed to bend. A distortion, a warping, a gravitational lens forming in midair. Scientists watching the event couldn't comprehend the readings. Gravity inverted for a fraction of a second. Time dilation spiked so intensely that atomic clocks lost sync. A swirling aperture began to form, neither a portal nor a black hole, but something new. An engineered phenomenon created with precise intention. And then the projection returned. But this time, it was not a hologram of a single reptilian figure. It was an entire council, several towering reptilian beings, each radiating distinct energy signatures, each older and more ancient than humanity could imagine. Their presence filled the sky. Their collective voice resonated directly into the minds of billions of people. The mega event enters its final threshold. Do not fear. The cycle must complete. As their words echoed, beams of blue light extended from the crafts toward locations across the planet. The poles, major fault lines, underwater volcanic systems, ancient energy nodes long forgotten by modern civilization. Each being pulsed with data mathematical sequences, harmonic frequencies, geometric codes older than Earth itself. At that exact moment, Earth responded. The magnetic field locked into a stable new configuration. The Schumann resonance surged one final time, reaching its highest peak before stabilizing permanently at a higher baseline. Human consciousness shifted. Millions of people experienced flashes of memory, not personal memory, but ancestral memory, encoded deep within humanity's DNA, visions of ancient contact, of civilizations guided and corrected, of cycles repeating across thousands of years. And then came the revelation. The Reptilian Council delivered the final transmission. You are never alone. You are never abandoned. We intervene when the trajectory collapses. We realign the path when the cycle demands it. This is not the end of your world, but the end of your old frequency. A brilliant surge of energy erupted from the center of the triangle. A wave of crystalline blue light washing across the entire planet. Not destructive, not harmful, transformative. It passed through mountains, oceans, cities, and every living being, resetting the energetic blueprint of the planet, recalibrating the collective field, synchronizing humanity with a new vibrational state of Earth. And then, as quickly as it began, it was over. The crafts dimmed, the triangle formation dissolved, the distortion in the sky closed like the final page of a cosmic book. One by one, the colossal vessels faded into the upper atmosphere, leaving only faint ripples of light behind. No explosion, no departure sound, no destruction, only completion. In the hours that followed, humanity emerged into a world subtly but undeniably changed. Colors looked different. Thoughts were clearer, instincts sharper. The atmosphere felt alive. People sensed a quiet, powerful truth. The mega event was not a catastrophe. It was an awakening. And in the silence that followed their departure, one final whisper echoed through the collective mind. We are the 3I Atlas. We will return at the next cycle. The world would never be the same. The threshold had been crossed. The upgrade had begun. Humanity had entered a new timeline.